Welcome, Kim. Thanks so much for joining me. Kim was one of the original founders. There are 3 founders. He's the only founder left, but he's one of 5 partners, and his particular mandate is creative director.
In the beginning here, when we started doing the new timber buildings, we could do 2, 3, 4 floors. Now we do up to 21 floors. Already now, we're right now building 21 floors, residential buildings in Lausanne. And we have projects for timber buildings more than 200 meters tall buildings. So of course, we started challenging it all the time. And there's a lot of possibilities in timber.
Isn't it funny though? The race for kind of height seems to have become a fetish when it comes to timber building, right? I mean, do you think we're too distracted by this need to prove the viability of this particular material because of the height of the structures that we can achieve?
It has nothing to do with that. It's actually we have the densification of cities, and because we have that, we have to build higher buildings. Right. And we build higher buildings, we can build them in concrete, steel, or whatever. And we also build timber buildings in the same places. So it's nothing. It's nothing to do with that. It's a race for height, but can we also use timber in a high rise? And it's going to be there anyway. And that is what we are looking into.
Is concrete the enemy now? We talk about the embodied carbon that concrete has, steel as well. Is timber really? Because I was reading an article recently about the fact that timber may not be as wonderful a silver bullet as we think it is in terms of its relatively low embodied carbon.
I think it is. I mean, the good thing about timber, you can grow it again, and 10 years later you have tall trees you can use again, or 15 years, whatever. So you can. There's no other resource you can grow and grow as you can with timber. So, of course, it has potential. Yeah.
What about the supply chain? I mean, is this? I was talking to someone in your office who said, "Look, if we overuse timber for projects, I mean, this in itself is going to be a problem in terms of sustainability. But clearly, not for you."
I think that's a ridiculous claim, actually, because when you look at the forests in Sweden or in Canada, you can fly for hours over forest, and this resource is so big, and but you have to plant new trees all the time. And it's better to plant more trees than you cut. I think that's the idea. And actually, we're thinking about investing in forests as well to compensate for our flights and so on. So there's being planted a lot of new forests too, except from Brazil maybe. But it is important that we replant so we don't take the resource away, and we can do that.
Do you think there's a limitation at the moment in terms of? Is it a PR, maybe a PR challenge or a marketing challenge, particularly for users, for the end users, the inhabitants or the workers who spend significant amounts of time in these buildings, to convince them that this is a good thing? Do you think there's still
I don't think it's hard to convince the users. Who doesn't want to be in a timber building? We have our officers who said in a timber building. It's a wonderful environment, winter and summer and whatever. And just the smell of timber is nice. I think concrete is a lot colder and a lot more harsh environment, and the sound and everything is different. So timber has a lot of advantages for the users, I think. It's more for the clients and insurance and a lot of other things that you have to take into consideration when you're building with timber. Insurance is a big obstacle. Anyway,
because of fire risk?
Yeah, because insurance companies want not to pay money, of course. So they try to limit so much the use of timber as possible. So that can be an obstacle. There must more, even more maybe than the authorities and the rules.
Does that mean we need more brave clients to commission these projects in order that they're more of this they see this material in use and As a society, we've become more assured of the fact that this is a great. There are only great advantages.
Yeah, we need a lot more experience, and of course, we need to think about fire protection and fire, how to get people out of the building, and what happens when there's a fire. But if you're talking about big glue lamp beams and like that, or columns, they are quite robust, more robust, a lot more robust than steel is in a fire. Steel becomes like rubber. We're doing a resort that's completely fully timber.
Just tell me about this. You were mentioning this earlier.
Yeah, resort is interesting because there we do everything digital cut. So it comes like this is actually learning from the furniture fabrication industry from IKEA. So everything comes in a flat pack, come to the site, and you just have to screw it together. You don't need a saw or anything like that. And you save 80% of the work hours. We tested that in doing it that way. So it will be a very, very fast way of building, and you can do very, very interesting designs. We learned that in smaller designs, and that's completely timber.